And it looks like I'm live there, everybody. Good afternoon and God bless you. Actually, good morning, depending on where you're at. Definitely good morning where I am. So this is God Quotes Live, and I'm Jamie. I'm happy to be here with you all. We'll talk a little bit about God and life and just things in general on this broadcast. I'm going to start off with a psalm. Good and upright is the Lord, before he instructs sinners in his ways. He guides the humble in what is right and teaches them his way. That's Psalm 25, verse 8 through 9. Sounds like I'm hearing myself through my computer here. We'll turn that off. Little technical difficulties here for me as I get started, so I apologize for that. Start off with a prayer as well after that psalm. Lord our God, dear Father in heaven, we thank you that we may be your children, led by you. We thank you for guiding us in times of grief and never forsaking us. Now, as of old, you are with us, Lord our God, and you show us the way in every situation. Protect us in this present time, and grant us strength to go on patiently, even when our lives hold so much suffering and distress. We thank you for your guidance and rejoice in your help for our time. Reveal your hand and power, for soon, very soon, your right hand will change everything. Amen. Reflecting on that prayer that I just read this morning and getting ready to speak with you all, this time of year certainly is a time of year where we need to look for patience as we navigate our way through these holiday seasons, as we try and figure out what it means to us and what the right course of action is whenever we're with people. We just celebrated Thanksgiving, and I know that for me, Thanksgiving is a great time. We get together with family and friends. However, we always seem to have a little bit of stress for those times as we get ready to meet up with family we haven't seen for a while. And patience certainly plays into those moments in our life. I struggle with patience sometimes. I'm sure everybody does. It's just a natural human entity for us to struggle with the patience that we may or may not have. Amen to YouTube, the Big Jackpot, and thanks for joining us this morning. I reflect on my Thanksgiving and on those Black Friday outings where we're always tested on our patience. We're always tested by God, I think, to find the right path, to discover what is appropriate for us, and to rely on faith more and more each day, especially in this environment where we're barraged by news 24/7, and it just doesn't seem to ever be good news either. It seems to always be that type of news where you wonder, oh, do I even want to go outside anymore, But we have to, right? We have to go on, and we have to be patient with people, and we have to be aware of where we're at in this world and aware of where our faith lies. And I think it's very important that we, during this holiday season, focus on some of those commandments that show us how to be. And that one that comes to mind every time I think about it is love thy neighbor. And that doesn't necessarily mean my next door neighbor. That doesn't mean the person that I see getting into their car in the morning. It certainly does mean that. I think our neighbors are those people standing in line that are frustrated maybe with the time that they've spent there. The people that we share the road with, the person at the counter at 7-Eleven that is getting their coffee with me in the morning. I think it's important that we explore the fact that and the chance that we can make connections with those people all the time, that, there's a potential that they're put into our lives right at that moment for that reason. And if nothing more than to say good morning to them. It's so often you can walk into a building, an office building, where you're going out to work or you're headed to get your groceries, and we cross paths with people so often. But how often do we stop and say hello or just ask somebody how they're doing? This time of the year that we're at right now, it being Christmas, I think is a good time for us to reach out to people and say hello to them. Hey, how you doing? You don't have to believe in God. You don't have to have faith in God, but by simply reaching out to people and letting them know you see them and letting them know that you care, I think is a big thing that we lack in our society these days. And I'm guilty of it too. We get going on our way, we get going in your morning, you get going, streamline, head down where you're headed to, and we don't tend to say hello to people. It's always funny to me when I'm walking my dog how many people do acknowledge me when I'm walking my dog. There seems to be a camaraderie wherever you go with certain things, and walking a dog seems to be one of those things where we can connect with people, even just briefly. There's no need to share names with anybody, or no need to, sit down and break bread. But in a sense, by getting together with each other and saying hello as we pass each other by is a simple way to express our faith and express our love for God and express how we feel about things. And I think it's very important to do that. I also caution myself whenever I get together with family or friends that I have to uh, be cognizant of the opinions I share. We are in this environment too where opinions are a dime a dozen, and everybody has one, and you never really know if your family or friends has the same opinion as you. But if we don't start sharing those opinions about our faith, about our political beliefs, about how we view someone else's choices, then I don't know that we can change society, that we can be a more faithful, God-filled society if we aren't willing to reach out to those that we love, that we trust, and either talk with them about their actions or about the things that they reveal to us that are in their private life. Lately, I've been reflecting on any time that we happen to hear somebody who has made a decision, whether that decision is to buy a new car or something extreme like, drinking a whole bottle of whiskey. Uh, if I feel like if we don't want people's opinions, then we can't air it out there, And I'm here right now, and I want to hear back your opinions too. So if you're watching or you watch this broadcast later, I want to hear your opinions on things. I want that constructive feedback from people because it makes me grow as a person. And if I'm going to air myself to people, then I feel like I'm open to those opinions. I'm open to that constructive criticism. So if I go out and buy a vehicle and then I lose my house, and this is just an example as I'm going here, and I tell everyone about that, then I'm open to that opinion. I'm open to that constructive criticism from others, especially the ones that I love, especially my friends, the people that I rely on to be a faith, be a light in my life. I think so often, and I am guilty as well, we tend to see things, hear things, and then discount them. I I try my best to hear things and take that criticism back, or when I see things, and reflect on what is God trying to tell me at this moment. I think He's constantly sending us messages, constantly giving us ways to broaden our horizons, broaden who we are, and become better people. And if we discount all of those things all the time, and we don't look at them with patience, as the prayer said, if we don't love thy neighbor, then where are we at? We are, as I said, in a society that's just barraged by opinions. barraged by violence anymore. Um, but there's a lot of good out there, a lot of love, a lot of faith, and we can all gather together and make it a better place by simply being appropriate with one each other, sharing those opinions, sharing that love and that faith with each other. So when you're with friends, when you're with family, when you're with your coworkers, when you're having a conversation and you hear somebody else's opinion, sometimes they don't always give it really nice, but they're giving it. And you have to remember that you gave that information to them openly. You opened the door to your life, you opened the door to them, and even if they were just a bystander, those people that hear what might be going in our lives have a right, have an obligation, I think, to share those opinions with us, share their feelings with us. And again, sometimes people don't do it so well, and that's when that whole patience, that's when that faith comes in, that looking within ourselves and deciding that I'm not going to be upset if someone is sharing an opinion with me, not be upset if they are doing it in a way that is hurtful or sounds hurtful. But after I reflect, what do I get from it? Is it worth my time to reflect on these things? Is it worth my time to say, yeah, they're right? To have that accountability within ourselves to say, I'm not always right. And we aren't always right. I think more often than not, we're wrong. I'm no expert on anything. I'll tell you that I have faith. I have faith. And I see faith around me. I'm a blessed person. Um, and I didn't have such blessings coming through my life until I started to welcome God into it more. I strayed off the path because I didn't hear the opinions of others, because I was unwilling to hear how people viewed me and how I was doing with the world. And that would upset me. And I still see that happening with people today that are upset by someone saying, hey, calm down, or hey, maybe you should slow down on that. And once I started seeing that I was not so different than everybody else, that I was not always right, that I had problems, that I did need constructive criticism, the doors of my world really started to open up. And I can't give it to anything else but God. I cannot give it to anything else but faith. And it's just an amazing gift to find that patience, to find God and have faith in Him. I'm 41 now, and I struggled my whole life to figure out what faith was. And I've seen people that are 10 years old who have that faith, who have that gift. I know people and have seen people that are in their 70s or 80s that don't have that gift. So it comes to us at different points. It's not something, I think, that we can just say, yeah, okay, I'm going to have faith today, and it happens. It takes that welcoming of God into your heart, being patient, hearing the criticism, being accountable, listening to people, saying hello to the people that we run into on the street, that we encounter at 7-Eleven, that we encounter during Black Friday, that we lift our heads up and greet those people. And then that starts to happen. But we have to do it every day. Every day we have to remember. Every day we constantly have to remember faith. Faith. And I don't think it, for me, I'm Catholic, but I don't think it stems from any one religion. I may even upset some of my fellow Catholic parishioners and people when I say that I think that God is everywhere. I think you can go out into the nature and that you don't have to be in the sanctuary of a church to find God. I don't think you have to be baptized in a certain religion. I wish everybody would. I wish everybody could have that ability and that that chance to do that. But I don't believe that that's where it is. I believe faith lies within all of us. It lies within all of us. And why wouldn't it? We're all God's children. And I continue to explore and learn about that faith and continue to learn and grow with what faith means to me and where I can take my faith and be a better person. It's certainly something that we all need to do. I don't see another way for us as a humanity to move on if we continue to discount what we see, if we continue to be afraid to share our opinions with people, if we continue to allow society to take wrong turns and not speak up about it. It's a tough thing to navigate, and I don't know how we're going to do it. But I know this much, that we have to have faith in order to be a part of that. So, in that faithfulness, I say to you, go out, shop, walk your dog, pass the coworker in the hallway, pass the person in the hallway at work that you don't even know, that doesn't work in your area, and just say hello. Just say hello to them. I'm guilty as much as the other person that I walk past people and I want to say hi, but for some reason I don't. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go out today. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to have that faith within me, and I want to spread that faith with everyone that I see. I want to spread that love with everyone and continue to be an open person about it. Continue to listen to criticism from my friends, my coworkers, my family. Continue to try and be a better person. Because without that, what else? What else do we have? If we can't trust those that we're around all the time, then we're going to struggle. So I appreciate y'all joining me. I'm going to continue to make this a regular cast. This is God Quotes Live #1. Going to have some guests on here in the next coming weeks. I'm very excited about that. One of them will be a good friend of mine named Crystal. So I'll be going to talk to her on Wednesday, and I hope you all join in when you see that we're going to be talking with her. And, we're going to get everybody in here. We're going to explore that faith with different people, with different religions, with different folks that believe, don't believe. I want it all, and I want to share it with everybody here on YouTube. I want everybody to have the opportunity to make a decision for themselves. And I believe that we're all good. I believe that we all have something to offer. So we're not going to just focus on one thing. We're going to explore it all through these YouTube casts, podcasts, whatever you want to call them. We're going to explore that faith, and I hope that you explore it with me. Again, I'm Jamie, and I thank you for tuning in here to God Quotes Live. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe button so that you can be reminded when we're getting on, and we're going to have some conversations about faith. And God bless you, and take care.